I find that very interesting that it finally happened because this isn't the first time this has come up. David Price came out years ago and said he would never come to the Yankees because he would never want to shave his beard. Justin Turner was joking about the fact that, he's like, oh, did they change the policy because Verdugo looked so terrible without a beard last season?
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Download the app or head to FanDuel.com to get started. With me, as usual, my co-host, Brian McKeon. Brian, where are you? There you are. Happy Monday.
Stacey, how's my beard look?
You need to grow it in a little more for it to actually look like. How does mine look? Good?
Great.
Great. Before we get started, don't forget, subscribe to Locked On Yankees on whichever podcasting platform you prefer. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like our videos, hit the bell so you're notified whenever our videos go live. On today's show, new changes after Yankee games. It started at Steinbrenner Field and it's going to carry over into Yankee Stadium. We're going to talk about that. ABS is already helping the Yankees. We're going to discuss that. Vlad Jr. has a change of heart. Ooh, but first, we have to discuss the fact that Hal Steinbrenner and Brian Cashman actually came out Friday afternoon, had a 22-minute press conference about the Yankees ending their 49-year no facial hair policy.
Yeah, about damn time is the feeling that I think everyone had, right? It just felt like an antiquated rule, and I think the Yankees' point on it that they both gave, not Boone, Cashman and Steinbrenner, Boone made a comment on it too, that if they lose a free agent to this, then it's not worth it. And I don't think it has to do with Vladdy. I don't think it has to do with anyone. But I think the point is accurate. If you lose a free agent due to this, it's dumb. And no other franchise except for the New York Islanders, because their GM is old and antiquated, have this policy. Everybody else allows their players to grow facial hair. It's part of modern day society. It's how men want to look right now. Men in professional work environments, CEOs, Harvard grads have beards. It's not an uncommon thing. So it was right. It was time. I do think holding a 20-minute press conference to address it is a little absurd. But hey, they got rid of it. The policy's over. So I'm happy with it. And I hope to God that Gerrit Cole grows a beard.
Well, we'll get to that later in the segment. But they asked Cashman if he was going to try and grow a beard. And he joked that he would, but I don't think he's going to.
No.
Basically, it was Devin Williams. It was Devin Williams that really... Nick Swisher said that they'd been talking about it within the organization for the last few years. Hal even mentioned that they've been talking about it within the last few years. But Devin Williams coming in and basically being like, yeah, no, this would actually affect my free agency if you make me shave my beard. So they made him shave his beard. He had a mustache, but Devin looks like the type of guy who's going to have a full beard within like 2 weeks. So he'll be fine. It'll be back. But I find that very interesting that it finally happened because this isn't the first time this has come up. David Price came out years ago and said he would never come to the Yankees because he would never want to shave his beard. Justin Turner was joking about the fact that, he's like, oh, did they change the policy because Verdugo looked so terrible without a beard last season? Which I thought was really hilarious. Gerrit Cole doesn't want to grow his beard back because he's afraid he's going to see gray hairs in it now that he's older. We talked about this, was it last week or the week before, where I said the policy should have been amended as soon as George passed away. Because even back then, before then, guys were wearing beards. But once he was gone, because he was the one that was really hammering it down. And, Joe Torre famously would tell guys, like, as soon as they got here, like, yeah, you got to get rid of that beard. Derek Jeter said that he didn't grow facial hair until 2020 in the pandemic because it was so drilled into him to have to shave all the time. And then finally during the pandemic, he's like, I don't have to keep shaving my face. I can finally grow facial hair.
There was that funny story that came out that Lou Piniella told George one day, even Jesus Christ had a beard. And it's true, Jesus did have a beard, well, from all accounts that we have. And George Steinbrenner said, "Do you see that lake out beyond center field? Go walk across it, then you can grow a beard."
Yeah.
So it was that.
That was back in Fort Lauderdale when they were in spring training in Fort Lauderdale.
It was that crazily ingrained in George's mind that men don't have facial hair, which I think is insane.
Well, no,
but
it was a discipline thing. It was a armed forces thing. It was, the whole being in and I get it. It is antiquated. It is crazy when you think about it. But I found it interesting that beyond the Yankees, there are guys around baseball who are actually like, they couldn't believe it. Like Dansby Swanson was like, on the one hand, I was like, oh, okay, they're doing this. But on the other hand, it's the Yankees. And we all know that that's how the Yankees operate. And it's just going to seem strange to see guys on Yankees in Yankee uniforms with facial hair, because it's just, everyone knows that that's what you do when you go to the Yankees. And some of the guys don't care. They're like, all right, fine, I'll be a Yankee. I don't care if I have to shave my face to do it.
And I'll say, I don't think it has affected them getting a free agent in the past, because I think when you throw $300 million in somebody's face, anyone will shave their face for that amount of money. I don't think it really matters. But I do think it makes the negotiations a little easier. I do. Guys like having beards. Guys like having the way they look. And honestly, too, there's that old saying, but it's the truth: look good, feel good. And a lot of athletes, they take very good care in how their uniforms looked when they're out on the field, and obviously accessories that players wear when it comes to earrings and chains and necklaces and all that kind of stuff. Guys are cleats too. Guys are very up and, important and take it very seriously with how they look out there nowadays. It's a big part. It's modern day society. So, I think that's an important thing too. You want to look the way you want to look. You want to feel good. You want to look good. You want to be confident that, can translate to the field. So I think it matters.
This is how I knew the facial hair policy was probably going to go away soon. Like, I figured within the last couple of years, they were starting to let guys wear chains more. They were starting to let guys wear the accessories that don't match the uniforms, the Statue of Liberty colored elbow guards, and letting guys wear certain cleats even on days where it's not players weekend. And I thought to myself, okay, things are changing a little bit here. Like, things are actually getting looser. So maybe at some point they'll finally be like, yeah, let's do this. But I will say this. I believe it was Evan Roberts of FAN who said that it was Juan Soto that made this happen. And I'm like, no,
nothing to do with it.
He has nothing to do with this. They didn't lose Juan Soto because of the facial hair rule. They lost Juan Soto because Steve Cohen had more money. That's why that happened.
No, I mean, we've seen it a lot lately. A lot of Mets fans at my former employer like to make reasons for why Juan Soto chose. He chose the Mets because of money. End of story. He got more money than the Mets. That's why he went there. There's no other reason you can come up with. But yeah, I think it does mean something. And as crazy as that might sound, and people, I think to a modern day player, and again, beards are in modern day culture. They just are for men. I think a larger percentage of men have facial hair now that don't. I really do. And it's a part of modern day culture, especially with the young athlete. Now, they've all got it. And you see it looking around all of baseball, all of football, all of hockey, every single sport has facial hair. They just do, all these players. So I don't think it's necessarily affected a player when it comes to free agency yet. I think if you throw a certain amount of money in front of any player, they're going to sign. I think tax rates have more to do with free agent guys losing out on free agency than I do facial hair policies. But Hal's acknowledged it. There's guys that are making millions of dollars per year in high prominent roles in the country that have beards. There's CEOs, doctors, brain surgeons that have beards. It's around all of society, all of everything. So I don't think this, is it a shock because it's the Yankees? Yes. But there's no other system in the world other than the FDNY and the U.S. Army that requires you to shave every single day. So why are the New York Yankees, that are, again, a sports team, having that policy? It made no sense. It was due. It was time. So I'm glad they finally did this.
This was Hal's quote. And he it was so funny. He looked, how do I describe his face? Because I was watching the press conference. Not scared, but he looked, well, no, he kind of did. Okay, because this was the quote. He said, if I ever found out that a player we wanted to acquire to make us better, to get us championship, did not want to come here, would not come here because of that policy, that would be very, very concerning. I'm fairly convinced that's a real concern. Like, he was really like, someone shook him to the core. I really think that Devin Williams was like, dude. and Hal said he spoke to current players, former players, people around the team. So I'm sure he talked to CC. He talked to the 3 leaders on the team, and he named them Cole, Stanton, and Judge to talk about this. Like, he was really shaken to his core about the fact that it's possible that someone wouldn't want to come to the Yankees because they'd have to cut their hair or shave their beards off. So I think it's about time that this happened, but he legit looked terrified. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
And the funny thing is, he talks to Cole, Stanton, and Judge, and only one of those guys is a facial hair guy when the season ends, and it's Cole.
Yeah, Stanton has some. Stanton might grow like a goatee.
He's not a full beard kind of guy, and Judge certainly isn't either.
Oh, Judge is not growing hair.
I do want to note, the last time Gerrit Cole had a beard, it was his last season in August. His last season in Houston through mid-August, his record was 21-0 with a 1.59 ERA and 238 strikeouts.
Right.
So the beard does work for Cole.
Well, Cole's a lot older now. No offense to Cole. So, like I said, and like he said, he's not growing it back because he doesn't want to see gray hair. He knows he's getting old, but he doesn't want the visual evidence staring him in the mirror. And I completely get that. One last thing before we go.
This will freak you out.
Derek Jeter posted this on his IG, which I thought was really funny.
No.
And he, like I said that he shaved his face every day till 2020. And then during the pandemic, he was like, why am I doing this to myself? But his sister,
that doesn't work.
His sister reacted and said, you look like dad. And then CC Sabathia just reacted with laughing emojis because he thought that was really funny. I'm sure Hal talked to CC because CC had to shave too because he had a whole thing going on. I'm sure there are plenty of guys who came over to the Yankees who had to shave, who are looking at this and thinking, couldn't they have done this 20 years ago? Like Johnny Damon, even 25 years ago, Jason Giambi's probably like, hello? Like, why did I have to shave everything off? So it's about time. I'm interested to see, don't expect, and the whole team isn't going to grow beards. It's probably going to be like 3 or 4 dudes who have beards in the season. And maybe some guy will let grow a goatee, but you're not going to they're not going to come out and look like, and that's another thing. They said that they didn't want to look like, they don't want them to look like the Duck Dynasty guys. It should be a well-trimmed beard, which was what I always said. I said, if they do amend this, they're going to make a stipulation. So they're not going to allow guys to have beards down to their chest.
No Brandon Marsh.
Well-groomed. Right. No Brandon Marsh. And no, one of the guys who was pitching against the Yankees on Sunday from the Tigers had a beard and really long hair. And I wanted to put his picture up and say, yeah, not this either, because it was like how would it fall over if someone showed up to Yankee camp looking like that. But all right, so 2025. We're 25 years into this century. The Yankees finally get rid of that rule. It's about damn time. I'm excited about this. And yeah, cool. It's done. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, hit the notification so you know when our videos go up. You can also join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. The link is in the description. You get text from us. You can text us questions, comments, reactions to trades and signings. We send out lineups during the season, roster moves, and breaking news so you don't have to keep checking social media. There's a 14-day free trial. Coming up, Vlad Jr. does a 180 concerning the Yankees. We'll tell you what he said.
When the game tips off, the NBA action is just getting started, and there's no better place to get in on it than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, you can place live bets throughout the game, so even if you miss the opening tip-off or want to bet on a fourth quarter comeback, you can stay in the action. And if you're looking for a bigger payout, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay. I love using FanDuel's live betting feature because it keeps every moment of the game exciting. Whether I'm backing my team for a late-game rally or picking a player to hit a clutch 3, I never feel like I missed my chance. Plus, the app is easy to use, and when you win, you get paid out instantly. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. That's FanDuel.com for your shot at $150 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel. It's an official sports betting partner of the NBA. And thanks again for making Locked On Yankees your first listen. Remember that every Friday is Fan Mail Friday. You can leave questions underneath the pinned comment on our videos Monday through Thursday, or you can join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club and get top priority. The link is in the description. So, Stacey, we titled this segment in our rundown that stays behind the scenes, LOL Vlad. And I titled it that mainly because I find it very funny when athletes make a comment when they're all confident and bravado and their chest is sticking out and they feel really good about themselves and they make a definitive statement like, yeah, I'm making a strong point. And then they're forced to walk it back years later because their agent tells them you're going to make a lot less money and they have to sit there with their tail between their legs. And that's exactly what happened to Vlad Guerrero Jr. Going into a free agency year, he's clearly looking forward to his free agency because he turned down the Blue Jays offer of apparently north of $500 million because he thinks he's getting more than Juan Soto. If you guys remember, Vlad Guerrero Jr. in 2022 said in an interview, I love to play New York because I love to kill the Yankees. I would never sign with the Yankees, not even when I'm dead. Easy to say when you're, 3 years away from free agency. Then in 2023, in the offseason, he reiterated, stating that he would never sign with the Yankees because it goes back with his family. Quote, that's my decision. I will never change that. Stacy, a few days ago, Vlad Guerrero Jr. said that he's willing to sign with any of the 30 MLB teams. He will, quote, speak to all 30 MLB teams. All 30 MLB teams will have the ability to bid on Vlad Guerrero Jr., and everybody is open for competition to sign him. Now, a little weird for a human being to talk about themselves that way and when it comes to free agency. But I find this very interesting. I love finding confident athletes with their tail between their legs. I think it's hysterical. And I love a guy that was so confidently stating that there's no chance that he'll ever even consider going to the Yankees. Hey, give Ken Griffey Jr. credit. At least he stuck by it. He never went there, never negotiated with them, never talked to them, never wanted to have anything to do with them. Vlad seems to have opened the pocketbook a little bit for the Yankees. Now, I do think this is a negotiation tactic a little bit. I did think his agent said, hey, maybe walk those comments back because the Yankees are going to need a third and a first baseman, and you might fit there really well. I don't think the Yankees personally are going to be very interested in Vlad Guerrero Jr., but I do love the fact that he publicly had to walk his words back because he likes money a lot.
Yeah. Some of these guys are not too smart when they're first coming up or, first become like noticeable players. You know what I mean? Like when they first get their first taste of being a star before they get paid, and they like to run their mouths, and yeah, it's all bravado, right? And maybe he thought he was smart for saying it. Maybe he thought he was funny for saying it. Maybe he thought he'd gain like the fans from Toronto be like, oh yeah, he hates the Yankees. Cool. That sort of thing. But I just find it funny that, both him and Alek Manoah said a lot of stuff during those seasons.
A lot.
And I always love to bring this back to Alek Manoah just because he was the same as Vlad, talking a lot of crap. Yep. Saying that Garrett Cole was the worst cheater in the history of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, and then he found himself out of baseball.
And then the next season, Garrett Cole wins the Cy Young unanimously, and Alek Manoah is sent to the minors and then disappears. Literally, They couldn't find him.
Hate to see it.
Yeah. So it's just a young guy thing. I get it. They just want to say things and score points with the fans, score points with other players around the league who like to crap on the Yankees, because it's not only Vlad Jr. Other players have done that stuff too. But I'm sure, like you said, his agent was like, maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you want to walk that back a little bit. Yeah.
Maybe walk back one of the biggest spenders in baseball. And again, regardless of the Yankees' actual interest in Vlad Guerrero Jr., which to my credit, I don't think there's much, to be honest with you. Regardless of their interest, you can't deny this. The Yankees will be involved in the rumors. The rumors will be all around the Yankees because next year they're still going to need a third baseman and a first baseman. They are two positions that Vlad Guerrero Jr. is able to play. So regardless, whether the Yankees want to be involved in those rumors or not, they're going to be, and they're going to be mentioned. And the Vlad's agent will never let the Yankees be out of the negotiation. With the way the collective bargaining agreement works, he's not going to let the Yankees be a team that's out on Vlad Guerrero Jr. They will be in on him to the last minute. Just like I'm sure the Dodgers will, quote unquote, be in on Vlad Guerrero Jr., and they never will compete for him either. I think we all acknowledge it's going to be between the Mets and the Red Sox. Those are the two teams that are going to be really after Vlad Guerrero Jr., which is fine. I'm sure the Blue Jays will put their offer in too, but no one seems to want to sign there, so I'm not really going to consider them one. I just find it really funny that, money talks, and he knows the Yankees have the ability to drive the price up a lot for him. And he did not have that same bravado, and his chest didn't quite stick out as far as it usually does when he realized, oh, I'm going into a free agency year, and clearly money means a lot to Vlad Guerrero Jr. He is not going to sign somewhere because he likes their facility and he loves their facial hair policy and he gets a free suite somewhere. No. Vlad Guerrero Jr. is just doing the exact same thing Juan Soto did. He's signing somewhere because of the money. That's it. He's going to whoever pays him the most amount of money. And you know what? The Yankees, regardless, will drive the price up. Their name being mentioned will drive the price up. So I found so much satisfaction, though, in seeing this. I really did.
Yeah, as a Yankee fan, you understand why people say what they say about the Yankees, but you don't like seeing it. You don't like hearing it.
No.
It's kind of annoying. So to see them have to walk back on their comments.
I did find those comments funny, though, that he loves killing the Vlad doesn't kill the Yankees. Now, Vlad's had his moments against the Yankees, but he's not a Yankee killer by any means. He's not Rafael Devers.
Right.
Like, he's not David Ortiz. Like,
Right.
there are Yankee killers out there. And don't get me wrong, Vlad's had his moments. But Vlad's not a Yankee killer by any means. He might think he is, but he's definitely not.
No. Yeah. Coming up, ABS is already working for the Yankees. We're going to talk about that. And a change is coming to Yankee Stadium in 2025. And we're going to talk about that too next. In Saturday's game, which was not televised locally, but people were able to watch it. I guess if you have MLB TV, you may have been able to watch the broadcast. The Yankees played against the Blue Jays, and Everson Pereira was called out on a third strike on a 3-2 count, but he challenged the call. It was overturned. It became a walk, and then Spencer Jones came up and hit a 2-run home run. Without ABS, Pereira would have just walked back to the dugout. Inning would have been over. Nothing doing. What I love about ABS, because I noticed it on Sunday's game, because I was watching it on Yes, Yankees played the Tigers. It is so quick. Yeah. It is so quick. It is so immediate. It comes up right away, and you know right away. And on the TV, and I think on the board itself, it shows you how close the call is to the box, like, 9/10 of an inch off. So these weren't egregious calls by the umps. They just missed, which is the kind of call you want to get in your favor,
Yeah,
But
I think. Go ahead.
The thing about this is you only get 2. You have to be really judicious about it. Like, you can't do it too soon, but if you think it's the right moment, and as we said the other day, the batter, the pitcher, and who's the third person who can do it, not the manager. Who did I say it was? I can't remember.
I think it's just the catcher.
Oh, catcher. Thank you. Yes. I'm like, there's a third person in that equation. Mm-hmm. So of those 3 guys, they can do the challenge. So Pereira took it upon himself to be like, nope, that wasn't a strike. Let's look it over again. And I love it. It's so quick. There's really, it doesn't take more than like 3 seconds for it to pop up on the screen, and then the guy just goes to the base. So I'm looking forward to this.
The reason this took so long to be instituted is because of the timing. I think they wanted to develop a system where it could literally be as quick as tap the helmet, boom, let's see the call. Yeah. And I don't think for a while you really had that. They don't want this to become the NFL where, did his foot get down? Was it not down? Was his knee on the ground? They don't want it to be this long, constant debate. They want it to be bang, bang, immediate call. Yeah. Almost akin to tennis's system. If you guys watch tennis, when they track whether the ball's in or out, they want a system that's that quick and that immediate. And it seems like they've developed that. From what I've seen the first couple of games, I genuinely believe, Stacey, that we may see this opening day of 2026. Like, I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think so too, because it definitely is a thing where developing it in the minors was a good idea. Doing it as a mix where it's not just the system, there's an umpire involved, because it would be kind of weird if you didn't have an umpire and you just had like some box that told you what a ball and a strike was. I like that it's a combo of the 2 things. So there's still the human element in there. And yeah, I'm thinking, because I think it was Jeff Nelson was talking about it on Sunday's broadcast, that he wasn't sure if it would be 2026 or 2027, but I'm leaning towards, if this is successful in spring training and people don't have a problem with it, it's going to be 2026.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of uproar, people complaining about it either, fan-wise. People seem to like it for the most part. So I think, personally, you're going to see it starting next year. And I think opening day 2026, you're going to see this.
Yeah, again, it's only 2 challenges. It's not like
Well, I think you keep one. I think you keep it if you're right.
Right.
It's just you only get 2 if you're 2. You get 2 wrong challenges, I guess is the way to put it.
Right. Yeah. So if you're right, you keep it. So you can do it a number of times, but you have to be smart about it. And you have to really know that, yes, this was a missed call. And there will be some instances, because there are some umps who have been known to call strikes like literally 6 inches off the plate, which will be an easy call for
Good.
a
Call
batter
him
to be like,
no, but call him on the carpet. I'm glad. Enough of the petty umpire who's going to call a ball or a strike because it sounds like the pitcher.
oh, also the 3-0 auto strike will probably go away too.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, I don't hate that.
Mm-hmm. So you could see an instance of that where a guy's up 3-0, and because you see it all the time where the umps automatically throw up their arm to make it 3-1, and there might be instances where the batter is going to be like, no, let's challenge that one.
I wonder though. If there's going to be some strategy implemented into that, because it's worth challenging it on a 3-0 count. Mm-hmm. If the ball's slightly off the plate and they call it a strike, is that worth their challenge? I mean, yeah, maybe it's a free base, but what if you get that challenge wrong? Is that worth losing one of your two on a 3-0 count? There's going to be some strategy implemented too, which I kind of like too. It's got a very similar thing to the manager's challenges, which I really like.
Yeah. So far so good with ABS. The next thing we're going to talk about.
This I really like.
So Brian Hoke mentioned this earlier on Sunday. We'll put it up. The Yankees will no longer play Frank Sinatra's theme from New York, New York after losses. Thank goodness. So instead, there's going to be a rotating selection of Sinatra songs. And at Steinbrenner Field on Sunday, after they lost to the Tigers 4-0, it was That's Life by Frank Sinatra.
Stacey, I got to be real with you. This is there's been a lot of off-season changes to things this off-season. This is one of the best ones they've made. And that's including the facial hair policy. Mm-hmm. I've been flabbergasted for the last 2 years. I think everybody has been. Why were they playing this after losses? I don't understand it. It makes no sense. I'm not even kidding for myself. It made me feel stupid as a Yankee fan when they'd lose a game and I'd be there and they start playing New York. Like, why are we playing this song? It makes no sense. It made no sense. Thank God this rule is gone. This is an actual progress. This is a good move advancing, because I don't know what the heck they were doing previously. It made no sense at all. This is a great job. This is a great job. I think they kept it for years past, honestly, because Yankee Stadium is in part viewed as a tourist attraction. And there are people that are from out of town, from other countries, whatever it be, that come to Yankee Stadium as a tourist attraction, not to go to a Yankee game, but as a tourist attraction. And they want to play New York, New York, because it's part of the Yankee bravado. And we play Frank Sinatra and we play New York, New York and everything like that, which is great. But therefore, you only play it when they win. That's just part of it. If you come from Spain, Japan, name the country, and the Yankees lose, sorry, you didn't get to hear it. The same reason if you go to a Ranger game at Madison Square Garden and the Rangers don't score a goal, you don't get to hear the goal song. They don't cheer the goal song when the Rangers lose 5-0. So, that's just how sports works. You got to hope your team performs the day you go. Sorry if they don't, but thank God they got rid of this rule, because it was the dumbest thing going on in all of sports.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like hearing New York, New York after losses. I thought it was funny. How many years ago was that? They would play Liza Minnelli's version after a loss, but then she got insulted by that, which I would understand being insulted, because that was the first version. And then Frank Sinatra did his version, and that became the more popular version. But her version was actually the first one. So I can understand why she'd get mad at that. But I still love New York, New York, because it does. It reminds me of being at playoff games when the Yankees win, and you're singing it as you're going down the tunnels. And it just seems so silly to be played after a loss. They also play it after the ball drops. After you sing Old Lang Syne, you also sing New York, New York in Times Square. They play that too, because that's just the way things go. I just think it's interesting that they're going to do like a round robin of Sinatra songs. So
I'm just glad the Yankees have decided to make this the offseason that they move into the 21st century.
I mean, again, 25 years in, it's about time.
Right.
One more quote about the facial hair policy. Ron Coomer, who came over in free agency in 2002, along with Robin Ventura and Jason Giambi, said that Joe Torre was like, yeah, you guys have to shave like right away. Like you have to shave. He doesn't like it. He wants the facial hair policy to stay because he's
another
old.
weird one who wanted it to stay. Believe it or not, I couldn't believe this hearing this. Johnny Damon. He put a video out on Instagram where he was upset that the facial hair policy was gone. And I'm like, dude, you're like the poster child of like grizzly, long hair, beard,
Going
everything.
from the Geico caveman to clean shaven.
Yeah. I found that one really weird too.
Yeah.
Especially because he has the long hair back now. He has the long hair and the beard back again.
Like, are they being like gaslit or like Manchurian candidated into it? Like that they're being like brainwashed into thinking that
like a
you should
mystique
do
to
that?
it. Maybe there's like a mystique to it, but I don't know.
Apparently.
It's very weird.
Yeah, like some of the guys that I thought would be not against it, who would be for it are against it, and some of the people who I thought would be, I don't know. It's strange. Like some of the reactions I'm seeing are from people that I wasn't expecting to be against it. Yeah. So here we are talking about beards on Locked On Yankees. Again,
beards and Frank Sinatra. I didn't see it coming, but hey.
It's spring training. There's not that much happening yet, really. I mean, other than, some games are being played. Most of the regulars were not playing on Sunday against the Tigers. I will say, the striped hats that at first I didn't like when I saw the pictures of them, they actually look pretty sharp when they play. I like the combo of pinstriped hat, the navy top, the pinstripe pants. I think they should have the navy top during the regular season as an alternate.
I agree. As a road alternate.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we'll get that too. Yep, there are a lot of changes happening. Let us know. Actually, let us know in the comments other changes that you think the Yankees should make that aren't too crazy, that won't make Hal's head spin. But like, think of things in the comments and let us know. Because I'm curious to know what you guys think the Yankees should do next, because it feels like the ball's rolling. And now that this is done, more things are going to happen.
I'd agree.
Yep. I'm willing to bet that along with ABS, there might be an alternate uniform in 2026.
2026 for sure. Not this year.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Yeah. I think 2026. We'll aim for that.
I'm for it. I don't know what pants would go with the blue jersey. I don't know if the gray pants go with the blue jersey very well. I'm trying to picture it in my head. I don't think it works very much.
Well, I wouldn't mind them doing it at home with the pinstripe pants. Yeah.
Maybe.
And
I need some time to think about it.
At home, you wear the NY, and on the road, you get the navy with the New York across the chest.
I don't hate it. I got to think about it a little more.
Yeah. Think about it. Think about it on YouTube, too. Again, let us know what you think other things that they should do, that they should implement for 2026. So thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, find Locked On MLB. Baseball guru Sully brings you a daily blend of humor and baseball, keeping you updated on every rumor and story throughout the season. You can find Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Get those Fan Mail Friday questions in. I will leave the pinned comment. I forgot to do it on one of the episodes, and someone let me know that he left a question and I didn't see it. So leave that question again for this week if we didn't answer it last week. I'm so sorry. So that'll do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We will catch you guys tomorrow.